Hi, I'm Reb Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years now. This year I'm going through the lessons and I'm asking Jesus to clarify for me. And then I write whatever comes to me from that clarity. And that's what I'm sharing today. So let's get started. We're on lesson 84. These are the ideas for today's review. Paragraph 1. Love created me like itself. I am in the likeness of my Creator. I cannot suffer. I cannot experience loss, and I cannot die. I am not a body. I would recognize my reality today. I will worship no idols, nor raise my self-concept to replace myself. I am in the likeness of my Creator. Love created me like itself. Paragraph 2. You might find these specific forms helpful in applying the idea. Let me not see an illusion of myself in this. As I look on this, let me remember my Creator. My Creator did not create this as I see it. This lesson describes me as I am in truth, not as I am in this body. It reminds me that I will find it most helpful to detach from the story of Myron. I cannot do this perfectly or all the time, but I can do it. What helps is that I am no longer interested in making an idol of this body, nor am I interested in making idols of this story or anyone in it. This is easier now since I've lost interest in most of the idols I used to worship. Things like my money, more prestige, being more attractive, all have become unimportant to me. Why would I be interested in these things when I can forgive and remember who I am in God? Paragraph 3, love holds no grievances. Grievances are completely alien to love. Grievances attack love and keep its light obscure. If I hold grievances, I am attacking love and therefore attacking myself. Myself thus becomes alien to me. I am determined not to attack myself today so that I can remember who I am. These specific forms of applying this idea would be helpful. This is no justification for denying myself. I will not use this to attack love. Let this not tempt me to attack myself. Yesterday, my son was taken to the emergency room because he kept fainting and falling down. For a few minutes, I was mesmerized by this story. But under that fear was a desire for my one function. So I forgave the story of my son sick and fearful. It was interesting to me how much the ego mind wanted to go back to thinking about this. I did all the things I needed to do. I called and texted periodically to be sure he got to the hospital and to see how things were going. But I didn't get lost in the story. To do so would have been a denial of myself. The ego mind, of course, wasn't silent during the day. One of the attacks was against other people. For instance, he had trouble getting his roommate to take him to the hospital. That was an excellent target for the ego to make guilty. I saw the thought and recognized the temptation to follow it, but I chose not to. Love doesn't attack. To attack anyone would have been attack on myself. There were other ego attacks as thoughts of possible outcomes came to mind, but each attack was an opportunity to choose again. I could have followed those thoughts as well, but they were not a justification for denying myself. Again, this morning when I first woke up, the ego mind wanted to think about this, but I'm not interested. I am beyond grateful for these lessons that are an anchor to the truth. Just to keep reminders available to me, I make cards that I place in strategic places. For instance, I have one that reminds me that my only function is the one God gave me, and one that says, let peace extend from my mind to yours, my son. They help me to remember my purpose and my function, and one that reminds me that my son is not the body or the story. He is one self in God, as am I. If all this had happened before the course, I would have been a basket case. I would have probably said and done things that I would regret. I would have cried all day as I waited to hear what would happen. All of that would have gained me nothing, nor would it have helped my son. I leave his body to the doctors. The only way I can help anyone is to accept the atonement for myself. This choice will bring light into the mind and will be actually helpful to my son. He's okay, by the way. So thank you so much for sharing this lesson with me. And if you found it helpful, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with another lesson.